Each week I choose 3 cards for inspiration, and there's always a theme, which we talked about. This week is messages from your departed loved ones. And when you choose one of these 3 cards, I'm going to pull a few cards from my Rider-Waite-Smith deck and give you your individual or, personalized, let's say, interpretation and message from departed loved ones. So the cards that you have to choose among this week are from the Everyday Tarot, the Strength card, the Chariot card, or the Star card. So I recommend that you just choose by which image appeals to you most. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to make your choice, and then we're going to get on with our reading for this week. While you're choosing, guys, the 13th, March 13th, which is next Saturday, is the dark moon. So if you go by moon phases at all, we're in a waning moon phase. That's one of the reasons that I wanted to do messages from departed ancestors in this week's reading. But it's a good time to take stock of where you've been over the past month, what you would like to see materializing in the coming month as we get into spring. So we're going to be having a waxing moon reading for next week because we're going into that growth phase where anything can become possible. All right, if you've made your selection, card number 1, card number 2, card number 3. Timestamps are going to be in the description below, and there'll also be links to the Everyday Tarot deck and the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot deck, and any other information that I think you might like to know as the reading progresses. All right, group number 1, if you chose the Strength card, let's see what we have for you today. Messages from departed ancestors. Please let the viewers who chose this card hear something that's going to be helpful from departed loved ones. So this is a group reading, so know that this may or may not resonate for you because we're reading for all of the people who chose this card. All right, here we go. Got to feel it. I've got to get that right cut. It's got to feel right. All right, at the center of it all, we have the Emperor card. And we have that card flanked by the 7 of Swords and the 8 of Cups. So we might be pulling a couple of additional cards here. So the loved one that you're hearing from would have been an authority figure of some kind. Father, grandfather, maybe even a beloved mentor, but an older person in your life and an authority figure in your life, and somebody who had, little bit of a sketchy path, a little bit of a roguish path. So this is someone who did not feel any guilt or any worries over taking advantage of situations. So here we have the 7 of Swords. So as you take a little bit closer look at that card, you see it's somebody who's getting away with weapons that do not belong to him, with property that doesn't belong to him. People have set their weapons outside of camp, and this guy is running off with all of them. And then to the right, we have the 8 of Cups, and we have what I am going to interpret as the same character. The loved one that you're hearing from somehow was not there for you, left you at a critical time. Or if let me give you a couple of different interpretations. If this person did not leave you at a critical time, it's maybe that you weren't ready to see that person go. Maybe you wanted to see that person turn around and become a little bit more honorable person than he was in this life. So let's see a little bit more. What can we find out about this individual, and what is the message that this person has for you today? Well, first of all, he's so proud of you, and he wants you to enjoy your success. So he's so proud of what he has seen you achieve in this life. He's a little bit concerned that, he was kind of a roguish, fun-loving person in some ways. He certainly didn't put any strictures on himself. He certainly didn't put any limits on his own behavior. And he wants to see you enjoy your life more. What else does he have to say to you? He also wants you to know that you can succeed where he was not always able to succeed in an honorable way. He felt like he had to take what he wanted. He didn't feel like he could earn what he wanted. He felt he had to take it. And he's saying to you, you don't have to be that way, though. He sees that you have the ability to have victory in your life in an honorable way. And notice we have friends in both of these cards. So the Six of Wands has all of his friends and colleagues with him, supporting him, cheering him on. Here also, there's many cards that we could have pulled that would have had a message of enjoying life. But the one that we pulled for you is the Three of Cups and its friends celebrating. So I'm wondering too, if this loved one might have been a little bit lonely, might not have felt like he could count on people, that he could rely on people. Maybe he wasn't good at making true friends, but he says you are, or you can be, and he wants you to take advantage of that. He wants you to receive all of the love in all your endeavors that you possibly can. He doesn't want you to feel lonely and like the odd man out and like you have to do some things in less than honorable ways just in order to make it through this world. So let's see if he's got one last message for you. Well, because my readings really appeal mostly to women, we see the High Priestess card come up quite a bit in these readings. And so we see her once again in reverse. So whereas this loved one either left you prematurely, or maybe this is a case where it was a father who ran off, or it was someone who promised you something and you really trusted, and that person did not come through on what he had promised that he would do for you, or be for you, or teach you, or help you with. And one of the reasons that he left, was he felt he wasn't able to be that person. He felt very disappointed in himself that he wasn't able to be that person, that wise person that you wanted him to be and that you believed in him to be. Well, he's saying to you, he also feels, although he's so proud of you, he also feels that you're not living in your full power the way you can. He wants you, if you feel like you have any inner demons the way he did, if you feel that there's some depression within, or some anxiety within, or there's some emotional feelings that you don't know what to do with, if you don't feel as comfortable in your own skin as you want to, he is seeing that and he's wondering if that's true, and he wants you to deal with those issues now, because if you do, then you are going to have all of your spiritual resources all of that good intuition that you can possibly have. And then you're going to be able to have a much different outcome to your life than what he felt that he had. So that's what I have for you today, Group 1. The Strength card was the one that you chose. And your departed loved one is apologizing to you for the actions he felt he had to take because of his own demons and issues. He wants you to know, just one little recap on this, how proud he is of you, how much he loves you, how much he sees your success, and he's there cheering you on, and he's so proud that you're able to have your success in a legitimate way, in an honorable way. And he wants you to just, the one caution or the one thing he has to say to you is to have even more of the beautiful life that he foresees for you and that he's so proud of you about. He wants you to not run away, but to deal with any difficulties that you have, especially emotional ones, especially in the mental and emotional realm, so that you can have even bigger happiness and success than what you already have done. All right, I hope that reading spoke to you. Hey, post an emoji in the comments or just a word or two in the comments to let me know that you were here and you made it to the end of your reading. And please subscribe if you haven't so far. And I will see you in my next video. Have a wonderful week, everyone. All right, here we go into Group 2, if you chose the Chariot. And let me give cards a little extra shuffle after having just finished my Group 1 reading. So, Group 2. Messages from beloved ancestors or departed loved ones. And remember, more so than any of my other readings, you may find that this reading doesn't apply to you or you don't see the resonance in it quite as much because remember, this is 3 groups of cards to appeal to everyone who might view this reading. So take what resonates with you and leave the rest. And also think about it for a couple of days because you may hear from a different loved one than the one you expected to hear from. So give it a little time and see if something which may not make sense at first ends up making sense over time. All right, here we go, Group 2. Move an extra card here. Okay, so we're going to read this one in a little bit. Let's put it over here. Okay, this loved one is telling me that that he or she is not gone. He or she is very much present in your life. So this loved one is feeling that you think that death is final and you think that this person is no longer with you or not aware of what's going on in your life. And this person is saying, not at all. I am still with you. I am still with you. And going along with this feeling, this loved one would like it very much if you consulted with him or her or talked to him or her a little bit more. So this loved one loves to hear from you, wants to have conversation with you, is there to guide you all the time. And so it's not silly at all to think. So if you are thinking about this loved one and sometimes talking to this loved one when you're alone at home, or thinking about this loved one and you're thinking, oh, this is just silly, this person can't even hear me. Oh yes. And this person wants to hear from you more, because the more this person hears from you, we have the Six of Cups here, the more this person is going to be able to help you. So don't feel that it's silly at all. This person also is saying to you that there's something important, and it may even be from this loved one. There's a gift that someone is trying to give to you, and that you are refusing to look at, or you're saying, no, I don't want that. And this loved one is saying to you, reconsider. All right? Is this a person who wants to be in a romantic relationship with you? Is this a job offer? Is this maybe just listening to what this loved one is trying to say to you? But there's an important gift that's trying to come into your life, and you're shutting it down and saying no, or maybe you're just too busy to even see that there's something new there for you. There's a new opportunity, there's a new friendship, a new love interest. Somebody's trying to come through to you, and so far you're not able to see it. This loved one says, please take a look. Okay, let's see what else this loved one has to say. Someone is saying, you have gone through a lot of heartbreak in recent years, and that part of your life is over. Let's see how. In fact, a new person is coming into your life, I feel. So there's a time of rejoicing. You've been going through a time of sadness. This loved one wants you to know that it's there for the asking. Happy life, no more loneliness. So is this necessarily a romantic partner? Not necessarily, but it's a time of celebration. It's a time of everything going your way, finally hitting that place where you feel you're living that life of ease and stability, and there's no big problems, nothing to really be worried about anymore. Okay, yeah, so let's go into this a little bit more. So remember, there was this gift that your loved one is saying that, hey, pay attention, you're turning something down that could be really good for you. I'm wondering, for some of you, this may be a recently past loved one. This may be a loved one who is trying to give you an inheritance, and you don't know about it yet. This may be the topic for an individual reading, but if someone has recently passed and you have heard nothing about this person's will, and it was a close person, keep your ears open, because this is looking like it very well could be, here is, this a lot of times is the legacy and inheritance card, where the older relative is looking with happiness upon everything that his family line has created, all the generations, his home, his happiness, everything that has been created. And this is in reverse. So there's something to do with the legacy that you have in your family. It doesn't necessarily have to be material, but as we look back on this card, someone's trying to give you something. You're not seeing it. I would first look within your family. Is there someone who's trying to give you advice and you're just not having it? Is there someone who is trying to help you out? Even as much as, hey, let me help you make that move. Let me help you, let me cook for you and bring you over some food. There are people who are trying to help you and you're maybe not wanting that interference. You've been saying no. Your loved one wants you to say yes. Okay, so we're about to turn over this jumper card here. Let's just recap a little bit. This loved one is very, very much with you. So if you think this person is gone and you can't call on this person, oh yes, you can. This person wants to hear from you. The more you talk to this departed loved one, the more this person is going to advise you, because remember, you chose the Chariot. So this is a card of moving forward in life. This loved one very much wants to help you with this. And it's also saying to you, time of heartbreak is past. Time of stability, celebration, happiness, in all of your works, in all of your endeavors is coming. And your ancestor very much wants to help you with this, or your loved one very much wants to help you with this. And what else? Be on the lookout. There's something so beneficial for you that you are not seeing, that you're either ignoring or flat out turning down. Wait a minute, group 2. I forgot to turn over this jumper card. So let's see what we have in this card that jumped out of the deck. We've got the King of Pentacles. Okay, so I just want to leave this to you that, what we said about the Ten of Pentacles here, about this legacy, and a little bit more about the identity of this loved one. This is definitely a person who was in a position of power. This is definitely a person, so the person who's speaking to you here is definitely someone who was in a position of power, was a guiding force in your life, or wanted to be a guiding force in your life. And the person who's speaking to you is someone who wants to guide you still and has the ability to guide you still. So remember, we said earlier in this reading that this person's not gone. This person wants to assist you. But the card came up in reverse. So this person needs to be allowed to guide you and help you from beyond, from the other world. But if you don't allow this person to help you, then he or she can't do it. So coming through to this card where we said, there's an opportunity here, but you're not letting it in. I feel the opportunity is to be in communication and really believe in this loved one who's speaking to you right now. The answers you need to leave the heartbreak behind, the answers that you need here to reach this point of happiness and stability and celebration. You need some solid advice to do this, and this loved one is in the position to do it if you allow the person to. Okay, so now I'm feeling, with the turning over of this jumper card, the reasoning behind this one is, yes, this loved one is a person of wisdom, probably an older person, and this person has everything that you need. But he or she needs to have permission from you to be able to advise you. You need to be able to listen. All right, that's what I have for you right now. Sorry that I forgot that jumper card, everybody, group 2. And I hope to see you in my next reading. Blessings for the week ahead, everyone. And one more shuffle, just so we have the cards completely thinking about you, group 3. All right, here we go. Messages from departed loved ones for group 3. let's see if we can find out a little bit more about who this loved one is. Because right now, right away, we're seeing a lot of advice. You know, most of all in the readings today, these loved ones are saying that they want you to listen to them. And they're not sure you're listening. So that's been a kind of theme through all the readings today. All right, so we're looking at who is this loved one. This person who's speaking to you is likely to be a younger person. You know, not an elder, but might have been, might be a child, might be someone you were in love with at one time. So if this were someone that you were in love with at one time, you know, may not be a very young person, but what I'm seeing here overall is a younger person. And a person maybe who had left this life, you know, before, much, much before you would expect someone to pass away. And this person is showing lots of conflict and lots of fighting. So because there's so many different people who may have chosen this card, so remember, you know, please take what resonates with you and of course leave the rest, more so than you ordinarily would do with my readings, with these group weekly readings. But if this were a child, if this was your child who passed away, this child is seeing conflict as a result. Maybe conflict between you and the father of this child. This person is seeing certain amount of loneliness as you go forward. And notice here that we're seeing 3 wands. All of the first 3 cards that I chose were wands. And they're not happy wands. You know, this one could be, but it's, you know, this is, in terms of this reading, this is someone who left this earth by far too young. This is a person who's afraid that you've forgotten about him or her. So let's find out. This is the situation. This is the person telling you a little bit about who it is. But let's find out what messages that this person has for you. Okay, this person who's speaking to you this is so funny. A couple of these cards turned up in one of the previous readings today. So once again, this person is, and both of these cards came in that same reading. So not only is this person afraid you've forgotten about him or her, but this person is emphasizing, I am still here. I can still be present in your life if you want me to. I am still here. So in case you're worried, or in case you're thinking, well, you know, after someone dies, they're not really around. Or maybe, you know, this person was too young to be able to still be in my life. What if the person that is coming through for you here was even a baby? Well, you know, it's just a baby. They can't still be around. They can't be here for me to communicate with. But yes, they can, because remember, these are souls. These are eternal souls. And even if they left as a very small child or a baby, it doesn't mean that they're not still, you know, We all still have all of the qualities of mature souls within us. So this person wants to be in contact with you, wants the fighting to stop. So if there's some fighting, if there's some blaming that went along with the death of this person, if people are all being holier than thou, well, it was your fault. No, if you would have done this differently, this person wants all of this to stop, wants the love to continue. So since we got the Lover's card here, let's go back, because since so many different people can be viewing this same reading, I always like to give alternatives for what the interpretations can be depending on who you are. So if we are looking here at a young child who was either a favorite child of yours or was your own child, and if a lot of recriminations and blame and fighting have happened as a result, if possible, this child wants you to resume the love, to feel the love again, to come back together with the other parent if you can, or at least to heal the friendship. This child is saying, you're both my parents. But also, we had the Knight of Cups here. So what if this was someone you were in love with at a certain time? What if this was someone you were in love with when you were a lot younger, who has passed? Or even a beloved husband or partner or wife that passed? That person is saying, I'm still with you. I still love you. I still care for you as much as I ever did. I'm still here to advise, to help you to feel loved, and in a healthy way, of course. Of course, your life as a human being has to move on, and you're going to continue to have loved ones and life experiences. But this person wants you to be assured of his or her eternal love for you. So, as always, as I said before, perhaps if this reading does not resonate to your own experience, if you don't have a beloved young person or someone that you loved who has passed, maybe take a look at Group 1 or Group 2 in this reading, but I would very much like, if this resonated with you, to please leave me an emoji or a comment and just let me know that you made it to the end of this reading. And if you enjoyed this reading, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. And I would also love it if you're on Instagram to follow me on Instagram, where I am just about every day. Thank you so much for being with me. I'm wishing you a blessed and happy week ahead, and I hope to see you on my next reading.